Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Sabbath class, 25th of December, 2021. We're gonna get into this, go all the way in on our discussion on the end time scenarios. So I'm asking everybody to like, share, and subscribe to Prophets of Awakening and hit the notification button if you can. This is a non-Messianic channel where we deal with the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament, and the Torah. That's the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses on Mount Sinai by the Lord of Hosts. Shalom and welcome everyone to Prophets of Awakening. We're going to do our moment of silence, Sabbath prayer, and then we're going to do a Psalms and go into current events, and then go into discussion. Okay. This one. O Lord, righteousness and uprightness belongeth unto thee. Therefore we come before thee at this hour, seeking thy face and looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before thee in spirit and in truth. For we desire to walk after thee, O Lord, and keep your commandments and your testimony and your statutes with all our heart and soul, to perform the words of the covenant that was written down by your prophets. Allow your face to shine upon your people, O Lord. Hear our plea, hear and do, O Lord. Hide not thy face from us any longer, for we need you so very much at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay? So I'm going to read Psalms. Let me get it. Psalm 37. Okay, the true state of the wicked is the Psalm of David. It says, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord, do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger, and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just, gnasheth upon them with their teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of an upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. The Lord knoweth the day of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in evil times, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away. The wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. For such as beeth blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they shall be cursed of him, or shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, and I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is forever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil, do good, and dwell evermore. For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forevermore, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land, and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous, and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hands, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord, keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. For the transgressors shall be destroyed together, the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is the Lord's. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them, and he shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. Okay, that was Psalm 37. It's a Psalm of David. Any comments?
Yeah, Leonard, that entire chapter seemed like it's what's going on right now in today's time where they are
Right,
currently uh,
exactly.
they know who the righteous is, so
Right,
the all this fear mongering and all this other stuff that's going on, it's becoming more and more aggressive to the point where its
exactly.
goal seems like it's to blot your mind of as who you are, keep you stressed, keep you worried.
Right,
Also, part of was that the wicked being punished, like you see now, there's starting to be more of these. Some of the cases where the cops who are continuously persecuting us are now getting their somewhat of a just countings for their actions,
right. Yeah,
and and how this COVID stuff is making them war amongst each other and stuff more so than we are. They're fighting amongst each other.
right. And that's not new under the sun. You can do that over and over again. Yeah. So it says like here, 34, wait on the Lord, keep his way, he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. That's the day of the Lord, right there. Malachi chapter 1, chapter 4, day of the Lord. I have seen the wicked in great power. We looking at that right now, these bankers on the world. I have seen the wicked in great power, spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. So it's coming a time real soon. You won't be able to find these bankers and Mark Zuckerberg and Janet Yellen. You won't be able to find them. You're gonna look for them, but you won't be able to find them. It's they gonna be up. You can cut them off. That's where we at.
Shalom.
Okay.
His great mercy. Isaiah 54, 7 and 8. For a
Mm-hmm.
small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
Okay. Is that song? All right.
Yes, it's nothing we can do. I mean, it's his mercy and his everlasting kindness for us.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was having a conversation the other day with reflecting back. I learned that like when these certain events happen in your life, and then you go back and look at it, and you say, well, it was a decision that you made, how you ended up in that predicament, and you thinking that I look back, I could have made another decision. Now he tells you, I caused them. I caused this person to do that. I caused this person to do that. So he brought you to that place for a reason. It's tied to whatever you had going on at the time, whether you train your transgressions, because it's like spring, summer, winter, and fall. He set it in place. It's gonna happen. He told you, you sow a wicked ass seed, then you gonna reap it. So your decision you making is according to what you've done. He's gonna bring you to the place where you're gonna get judged there.
Yes, and he covers us in the midst, though,
Right.
too.
So you have to understand that
Yeah.
you can't say, I shouldn't have went to hell. I shouldn't have did this. You being brought to the place where you're gonna get judged, or according to what didn't happen. You sneaking around doing something you ain't got no business in. You gonna bring it to pass where somebody gonna be sneaking around on you. You gonna bring you're gonna reap the benefits. It ain't cause, and so you helpless. That's what people have to understand. You can't deal with the angels, these angelic beings. You can't deal with them. You're gonna get tricked off every time because they over your age. So that's how they go. Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna do some current events. I'm doing it on China because it's gonna tie into the discussion that we're gonna have. So, first thing I'm gonna do is this right here. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay. Here we go.
Is pushing China for the genocide in Xinjiang. US President Joe Biden has approved a new law. It bans all imports from Xinjiang. It also sanctions those who force Uyghurs into factories. This law is a bold step. Who will it impact? Anyone with a business interest in the American.
So this is what I mean right here, what I was just talking about. All the sins and transgression America got. Gotta, they gotta pay for that. So now we're in a place where we got the president of the United States, he putting sanctions and banning all this stuff in China. Now anybody in their right mind, no, you can't do that because of what China is right now. He banning them, he putting all these bans and sanctions on China. What do you think gonna happen? This ain't like 10 years ago. China is the ruling power in the world. So he making decisions based on what the Most High causing them to make. Because it's gonna be repercussions to what decisions that he made. And judgment got to take place. So watch this.
Market, all of those companies. The US government wants businesses to behave responsibly, to stop using factories that employ forced Uyghur labor, and to stop importing goods made by them. Major Western companies are guilty of using Uyghur labor. I'm talking about names like Apple, BMW, Gap, Nike, Samsung, Sony. Last year, an Australian think tank identified 83 brands from all sectors, technology, clothing, automobiles, all of them. They're either American companies by origin or they want to sell their products in the United States. But they were all unable to keep their supply chains clean. In fact, many American companies tried to resist this law. Tech giant Apple, for instance, they actively lobbied against the law. Footwear giant Nike did the same. It spent more than $900,000 to push back against this new law. Coca-Cola, we are told, spent more than $4 million last year on lobbying efforts. But for a change, the lobbyists did not win. America has banned all imports from Xinjiang. Needless to say, China is not happy.
Banned all imports from China. That's a nutcase.
On December 23rd, United States signed the so-called Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act into law,
This act ignores facts and
it's an act of war.
maliciously standards the human rights situation in China's Xinjiang and seriously violates international law and basic norms governing international relations, which is an act of gross interference in China's internal affairs.
Is that so?
China is strongly indignant at it and firmly opposes it.
China says the claims about Xinjiang are fake news. The fact is, the US is hitting China where it hurts the most, the export sector. It represents close to 18% of the Chinese economy. Exports is what made China an economic powerhouse, and Xinjiang plays a major role in those supply chains. The region is about twice the size of Texas. It supplies raw materials like coal and oil, food items like tomato, clothes and sneakers, electronics, basically all kinds of consumer goods come out of Xinjiang, but Xinjiang's biggest export is cotton. This province provides 1/5 of the world's cotton. Exporters of all of these commodities will be hit with this new American law. They already.
So let's look at that, put it in perspective. So Daniel tells us it's 4 beasts coming upon the earth. So it's 4 beasts. All 4 of these beasts are the same beast. They're just different incarnations of it. And then he tells us that at the very end, the 4th it's going to change itself 10 different times. So in accordance to prophecy, according to the Israelites, we're in the 9th beast. So our deliverance is at the end of the 4th beast, at the 10th beast. The Chinese got to come in place. So guess what? Chinese gonna have control over us for a minute. We ain't at the end yet. So how we get back to Africa? The Chinese. But we still under the 4th beast. We're at the end of the 4th beast. China gonna bring us back. So you say, what are you talking about? We went to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuchadnezzar took us to Babylon. We had no leader over us. They took us to Babylon. He had cut the head of the leader off. That was over Israel. Wasn't no leader. The Chaldeans was our leader, because judgment had been pronounced on us. So we still right now we dealing with the 4th beast, America. And we see what's happening right now. The Most High bringing His prophecies past. So Chinese is gonna bring us back over there. We don't need no leader. Chinese gonna bring us back to where He wants us at. Then all events start taking place. So let's look at that. So we see right here where He causing America to make these dumb decisions pertaining to China. And everybody in their right mind can see, China ain't the one to be messed with, not in that way. When he got, the guy was showing you got 120 countries behind them. Times ain't the same as they was back in the day when you can manipulate countries, and America can come in and manipulate countries and all that. That ain't happen now. You're making the wrong moves at the wrong time. China they already set up. So you say, what are you talking about? Well, we see this debacle that's going on with China, right? With the container ships. That's all China behind all that. They're doing this intentionally. So look at this right here. I've been telling you about the Rolling Belt Initiative. The container ships, the Rolling Belt Initiative need those container ships. That's what the Great Reset about. They also need the Israelites. They need the Israelites over in Africa. So look at this.
Indian Ocean will dominate Asia. The destiny of the world will be decided
Destiny
on its
of the world.
Powerful words, not mine. They're often attributed to maritime strategist Alfred Mahan. He's said to have said this more than a century ago. The attribution is contested, but the content is not. And I'm not here to talk about who spoke these words. I'm here to tell you that this prophecy is about to come true.
Prophecy.
The war to control the Indian Ocean has begun. India is being challenged in its own backyard by the Chinese military, the People's Liberation Army. They have a plan. Do we have a counter? Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay, and today we'll talk about China's designs to dominate the Indian Ocean. This is the region we're talking about. The Indian Ocean is the third largest ocean of the world. It covers nearly 20% of the water surface. Quick question. Why does China want to dominate this region? Because its economy depends on it. China needs the Indian Ocean to protect its economic interests. Consider these numbers. Around 80% of China's oil is imported through two sea routes, the Indian Ocean and the Malacca Strait. And as of today, neither is in Chinese control. What about trade? 95% of China's trade with three partners passes through the Indian Ocean. These partners are West Asia.
That's the container ship. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing. They all this in all that's
Africa and Europe. Numbers tell the story. China needs the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
So what do? Build ports and a naval presence. And I'm not talking about deploying a few ships here and there. I'm talking about military bases. China wants its own military bases in the Indian Ocean. It is said to be seriously deliberating this idea. Last year, the United States Department of Defense put out an assessment. It says Beijing has prepared a list of potential candidates, countries that China wants to target for bases. In the Bay of Bengal, there are three possible targets: Myanmar, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. Then on the western side of India, China is considering these countries: Namibia, Seychelles, Tanzania, and the UAE. In fact, in the UAE, China was trying to build a military base secretly. The Americans caught them. We're talking about the Khalifa port. The Chinese were building a facility here, a multi-story building that could double up as a military base. This was at a terminal built and operated by the Chinese shipping giant Costco.
Shipping giant.
When we were kids, Superman was our hero.
All this stuff on his unfolding.
One of the things that our sensors can do.
Right in front of our face because it's part of prophecy. Like I was saying about the leaf falling to the ground. The Most High said, don't know leaf fall, nothing fall to the ground, you don't know nothing about it. So it's got to be contained in prophecy. Hold on.
They did not know about China's military plan, at least that's what they say. But the Americans insist they have intel. So they put pressure and work at this facility had to be stopped. But this is a one-off. This time the US had its way. It won't be the same every time and everywhere.
Right.
China still has many other options, and nothing matches this one. Pakistan. If China wants a military base in the Indian Ocean, it will most probably be in Pakistan, because in Pakistan, China can dictate terms, claim the best of everything. There are obvious advantages. One, the PLA is familiar with the Karachi port. Their ships have been visiting Karachi for decades. The first port call happened way back.
So let's look at that. So go back to prophecies that already took place. The Chaldeans heard about the Persians. They knew the Persian was coming. They seen the power that was rising. They doing the same thing America doing, scrambling, trying to cut it off. But they can't cut it off. Like I was saying, go back to our forefathers understood that they couldn't contend with these angels. And they couldn't contend with prophecies that had been proclaimed by the Lord of hosts. Same thing right here. They trying to fight against these angelic beings in heaven, orchestrating all this, and they trying to fight against it, but they can't. They can't stop it. It's already been prophesied that it was 10 toes. And China is the final incarnation of the full beast. And the Israelites are captives of all the full beast. Full beast got to play itself out in order for a prophecy that's pertaining to Israel's redemption at the end even begin to start. So captivity is still going on. And like I said, you're going to use the Chinese to bring us up back over there. We don't need no leader. Just like they didn't need no leader when Nebuchadnezzar and then Nebuchadnezzar came and got them, took them to Babylon. But when they came back, like he said, after the 70 years or so, then a leader showed up. Play a little more. Then we'll go into it.
In 1985, a Chinese destroyer and ship docked at the Karachi port more than 35 years ago. And since then, the Chinese Navy has regularly used this facility to replenish their supplies. In recent years, the navies of Pakistan and China have ramped up their drills in Karachi. In 2020, they had an exercise called Sea Guardians. For this drill, the PLA deployed 5 Chinese warships, 2 helicopters, and more than 60 special operations soldiers to Pakistan. And they plan to take it further. China and Pakistan have recently unveiled a plan to develop the Karachi coast. Long story short, the Chinese definitely have their eye on the city, Karachi. But Karachi is not their only option. The second one is Gwadar. And ever since this port was announced, there have been questions. What will it be used for? China says Gwadar is purely for trade. I do not know anyone who believes that. Also, trade from Gwadar does not make sense. Because look at the location. Look at where China is building this port. This is where Gwadar is. This is one of the most backward regions of Pakistan. There is a severe water shortage here, and that makes any economic activity difficult. What about transporting oil? Very costly. China would end up spending more than $8 per barrel to transport oil from Gwadar. Now look at the distance. Moving cargo from Gwadar to China is a logistical nightmare. Containers must first traverse the entire length of Pakistan before crossing into China. That's 1,800 kilometers. So how does Gwadar make sense for trade? It doesn't. China would lose money here. And yet, China is spending more than $1 billion to build this port. What explains this?
Check it out.
Gwadar is not for Chinese trade, it is for the Chinese military. As simple as that. Gwadar can serve as a military base for the PLA. If not immediately, then certainly in the future. This port can easily be repurposed for the Chinese military. It can support Chinese amphibious assault ships, fleet replenishment ships, and depending on conditions, even aircraft carriers. And this is why China is keen on Gwadar. It has strategic potential. You base the Chinese Navy here, and you can operate in and around the Persian Gulf. What will the Navy do? Help commercial vessels in case of a conflict and control the waters. Exert Chinese military pressure in the Indian Ocean region. This is the kind of potential that Gwadar holds for China. Now, to be fair, the PLA has not made use of the Gwadar port yet. But that doesn't mean they can't. One PLA officer was once asked about Gwadar. Here is what he said. The food is already on the plate. We'll eat it whenever we want to. Gwadar is a perfect example of China's dual-use strategy. Build a port on the pretext of commerce and then equip it for the People's Liberation Army. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, the BRI, China is laying a network of such ports, dual-use ports. These ports can be leveraged for military needs whenever needed. In 2016, Beijing gave a legal foundation to this strategy. They introduced what is called the National Defense Transport Law. It has some very specific provisions for Chinese state-owned companies. By law, these companies are now required to design overseas infrastructure projects as per military standards. So that's what they're doing, building commercial ports for the military. I'll give you some examples. Ports built by China in the Indian Ocean region, Hambantota in Sri Lanka. It is now under Chinese control, you know that. China Merchants Port has a 99-year lease for Hambantota. It was built for trade, but Hambantota's existence.
So this the answer to the backlog with the container ship. So as soon as they get situated and they set this booby trap for America, then container ship's gonna be settled because they got the whole road and belt initiative sitting there waiting on these ships. America being set up. So when they once they get situated, just like the Egyptians needed us, the China for this right here. She said the whole road and the belt initiative, all that is hinging off of the Israelites, putting them back in Africa. China, the Persians, the Chaldeans needed us the same way. There ain't nothing new under the sun. That's how we get back. We're not gonna help America gonna be done. So what you come to find out is, just like America got into the war with Germany, that was to get those scientists. Well, they doing what they're doing right now. America got Jews, Mosai Jews over here, the Israelites. So when they knock them off, they're gonna get their Jews and take them where they want them at, take them where they need them at. They don't need nobody to be over them. Okay? So now, any comment before we go into the discussion? I go ahead.
Is China gonna give us great substance?
Yeah. Look at all the stuff they got. We're gonna go into between the dialogue and the conversation, we're gonna go to a whole truckload of scriptures and go from there. Let me get out of this.
So that's where our great substance gonna come from, China.
Right. We got they left. We left. The Chaldeans took us out of Israel, right?
Right.
Who gave us our great substance? We got ready to come back to Israel. Cyrus. The Chaldeans ain't give us the great substance, but the Chaldeans took us out of here without a leader. We had no leader. Nebuzaradan led us out of here. Then
But
when it's time for us to leave, when the captivity was over with, he appointed a leader.
but the first Egypt, Moses, they took their substance from the Egyptians with Moses.
Right. Well, when you got to look at how it happened. Well, like I said, he took when they went into the Egyptian situation is not as the same as Babylon and what's getting ready to happen now because of 70 souls went into Egypt when it started. They weren't taken there involuntarily, by just like when they went to Babylon and like when we came here. They went there voluntarily in 7 souls because most drove them there because of family. Yeah.
Because I agree, war is part of his, according to Deuteronomy 4 and 34,
Right.
War is part of his method of delivering a nation from inside of a nation.
Right.
And he got many methods,
Right.
and war is one of them.
Right.
But let me read something right quick out of 2nd Ezra.
Go ahead.
3rd chapter, 13th verse. And it came to pass that when they did what was wrong in thy sight, you chose yourself one of them, whose name was Abraham, and you loved him.
Right.
And to him alone,
right,
you reveal the end of time secretly at night. To him alone at night.
right,
Now let's go to Genesis 15 and 12.
right,
And when the sun went down, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham. And lo, a horror, great darkness fell upon him. This is just what Ezra just prophesied, him alone.
right,
And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land. Notice he said land first, just a
right,
land, because
right,
Jamestown, Virginia, it was just a land, 13
mhm,
colonies.
right,
Okay? The stranger in a land that is not theirs,
right,
and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
right,
Okay? Now, this is a great nation, according to verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
right,
That pinpoint nothing but America. I mean, I know the plague's gonna be all over the world,
right,
but he only showed this to Abraham.
Right.
And he said 400 years, I'm gonna judge that nation. He pinpointed that nation, and after the judgment, we're gonna come out with great substance. And you know, I agree, war is one of them methods that,
Right.
but oh,
Well, it's a whole nother. That's a from to go into that and break that down I'm gonna use another class, another discussion for that. But I'm gonna go right here to Haggai just to show you what I'm talking about. Part of that, go to Haggai chapter, you know, which is what you're saying uh is good, but there's a lot more to it. So Haggai chapter 1 verse 2. Haggai chapter 2 verse 20, and you got to take into consideration what happened during when they was released from Babylon and what's happening right now. As the biggest part is we witnessing it happening right now in our face, and that's Haggai chapter 2 verse 20. Again, the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the second. They're in captivity. I was showing you just like Shem was before the flood. Shem passed through the flood. It was on the other side. Haggai and Zechariah was in the captivity, and they came out of the captivity and came back and built Jerusalem. So they of a greater significance. So it says in Haggai chapter 2, verse 20, and again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 4th or 20th day of the month. Speak to Zerubbabel. See? So I told you they got to Babylon without a leader. But now it's time for them to leave. Now he's identifying a leader. Got to keep that in mind. So speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and earth. That's what he's doing right now. War. He's shaking heavens and earth.
And that's the same situation we in. We're without a leader, a king, or everything. We unorganized.
Right. But remember right here when he says he's gonna shake the heavens and earth, it's after the captivity, the prophecy is over with. I'm showing you that the ninth beast is America. We still in the prophecy because China got to come. It's where we gonna be at when China finishes with us, and we know it ain't gonna last that long. So all the reason why he bring China on the scene is to get us out of here. We don't need no leader. Then once we get over there in Ezekiel 38, then he identifies the leader. The leader come forth with the great shaking, and right here, like I showed you last night. He says, I'm gonna shake the heavens and earth. The leader came when he shook the world up, when he shook the nations up.
So you think you saying China gonna give us that great substance, and we go to the West Coast with all that great of Africa with all that great substance,
right? Yeah, the cryptocurrency,
but no leader.
Yeah, the leader gonna come. The leader gonna come in the process of that, just like with Zerubbabel right here. When you go back and look at how it all happened, like I said, Zerubbabel went. We read the story about the 3 bodyguards, and that's how the leader was revealed. Zerubbabel told him he won the contest. Then he asked Zerubbabel, "What you want?" Well, the Most High had already set it up a long time ago. He said, "Remember, because at one time Cyrus was a prince. Darius. Darius was a prince. Cyrus was a king, and that's what Zerubbabel is, a prince. And what the countries did back in then was they would take the prince of each one of them countries and use them as hostages to make the people in the land do what they tell them to do, or they gonna kill that prince. So that brought Darius and Zerubbabel together. They became friends like David and Jonathan. So then Cyrus died. Darius came to the throne. Then Zerubbabel won this contest and told him, back when we was boys, little boys, you said that you was gonna rebuild Jerusalem for me. Make it good, make me good on that. So all that stuff, all that had to play out. And we looking at it playing out now.
Yeah. And one more thing before we go to the class. like verse 14, you know, and that
Right.
nation
Right.
whom they shall serve, I will judge, and afterward they shall come out with great substance.
Right.
Well, when you read the Apocrypha of Abraham,
Right.
because I mean, Ezra just told that he told this only to Abraham secretly at night. And when you read chapter 30 and them plagues he promised to put on the heathens. And then when you get to chapter 31,
Right.
after them plagues, his Messiah is coming and he summons his people. He gathering his people.
Right.
And that lines up perfectly with Genesis 15 and 14.
Right. That mean, what you're saying is true. But what I'm saying is the China, the Russia and China, whatever they doing, the three when you in second Ezra when the three it's a head, and then you have to go back and right divide that too. Uh, I say when you're looking at it that it's uh Esau. Esau is that head that's it's dormant, that's been hiding, and they got everybody thinking it's not sullen, like he's not don't have no power. And at the very end, he show himself, and then he says that head turns and eat up the two heads on both sides of it. So all that's included in when he says that Israel gets the great substance. All that's
And,
part
and,
of at the end when what he doing at the end when he bring the leader for all that's tied in the same time frame.
and see, to me, it's just like they know this is coming, and they know when I see them putting up their Star Wars
Right.
and talking about an alien invasion.
Right.
To me, they getting prepared for when the Messiah come to take his people out of here.
Right.
And they gonna try to say it's an alien attack. See, like when he come up out of the sea in Second Ezra, it's two group of people the Messiah come to. That first group, they gonna fight against the Messiah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna read all that. That's what the discussion about. It's just that
Okay.
to lay
Okay.
all that out. It's right there. It's just got to be laid all the way out. Because it's first of all, I mean, it ain't. It ain't. It's so many people that don't understand. Like for example, this is one of the things I wanted to shine a light on. That it's two end times. It's two end times. You got the end times that was prophesied by the Most High and the prophets. Then you got the end times that came about after they concocted JC. They got JC. Then they had to make another end time scenario that's tied to the Revelations and all that. And you have to be able to divide the two of them. They got an end time they bring in the past. Like I was showing you how that they 7 years they bring the Most High bring judgment every 7 years. That's what they've been doing ever since they've been over here. In order how they got all the wealth. They'll let everything go for 6 years, then they come in and disrupt everything, cause all the people that's coming up and decimate them and start over again. That's how they stay rich. That's how they stay in power. So they got their own end time scenario with the technology that they didn't acquired. They bringing about their own end time scenario. So you have to understand that. Like I said, that end time scenario is tied to David. I can't think his name. Pikes. I can't remember his first name. Pike. He wrote that down. Dogma. Whatever the name of that is. Moral.
Albert Pike.
Albert Pike. Yeah. Dogma and moral. He says it's going to be 3 world wars at the end of the world, and that
Right.
final war is going to be for the Edomites to rule the world from 1,000 years from Jerusalem. So that ain't in scripture. That's what they
Right.
planning. So 2 end time scenarios. One of them they concocting it, and the other one the Most High brought it about. And what then happened is when you go to Daniel chapter 8. Let's go there right quick. So we already in the discussion. So when you go to Daniel chapter 8, it says, chapter 8, verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High and wear out the saints of the Most High and think, see that, to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hands. So that's what they done. They changed the times is the prophecies. They didn't flip the prophecies around because of the end time scenario that they didn't concoct.
Yes, sir. That's why they try to throw off that 400-year prophecy, because that's a time clock.
Right. Exactly. Right. So yeah, with that
Hey, Leonard, I have a question.
go ahead.
You mentioned, or your understanding is that China will go to war with the United States,
Right.
and that is what's going to lead us out of here.
Right.
And they're going to take us to the west coast of Africa for
Right.
their purpose, mainly that Road and Belt Initiative, correct?
Right. Exactly.
So that sounds like to me that we're going to leave one captivity to go to another captivity.
No. What I'm saying is, the four beasts. He said we're gonna be in captivity under the four beasts, the time of the Gentiles, the Chinese Gentiles.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They have Japhet. So the time of the Gentiles ain't up to whatever goes on with the Gentile, with the Chinese. That's part of the four beasts. It's 10 toes on the four beasts.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? So
I
all they doing.
I understand. Uh-huh.
So let's look at that. So wasn't that prophecy when we was on the west coast of Africa?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they brought us here, but the prophecy is still going on. We're still in captivity. The prophecy started before we came to America.
What do you think we're? I'm sorry.
Go
Do you
ahead.
think we're right now? To me, we're in Genesis 15:14. We finna wait out this judgment.
Yeah, that's what we in right now. We in the same predicament that we was in Babylon. When you understand what happened in Babylon, it was 60. He told them 70 years they was going to be in captivity. When we picking up in Daniel, when Daniel prayed, it was 69 years. That's why Daniel went to the books. It was 69 years. When you add the numbers up, he talking about the 69 years. And then he said, well, this is what Jeremiah told us. And we know Jeremiah got all this information from the Lord of hosts, from heaven. So it's 69 years. What's going on? That's why Daniel started praying. That's where we at right now. We at the end of the prophecy. We're coming up to the end of it. But like I said, they done hoodwinked it. But now we looking at China. Look what China doing. You can't exclude what China doing and what all the stuff I was just showing you about China. They ain't gonna all of a sudden just put all this stuff up and go to dominoes. They gonna play it all the way out because it's part of prophecy, and that is they gonna take over the world. They're gonna decimate America, just like Cyrus did Nebuchadnezzar's son, because he the one got to deliver us. So the China take us over. They need us over there back on the West Coast, which is Jeremiah 29:14. I'm gonna take you back where you came from. So Nebuchadnezzar got us from Jerusalem, and Cyrus sent us back to Jerusalem, but America got us from the West Coast of Africa. So Chinese got to take us back to the West Coast of Africa. That's when everything that we talking about start taking place. That's when the leaders show up. And we're gonna read all that in a minute. So that's where they throwed us off there. We thinking that everything's centered around when America go down, but we still in captivity. We still dealing with Gentiles. It's just a different children. They all the same children, just like Esau got 12 sons. Esau got 12 sons. One of his sons came in during the time of Obadiah and stole the land of Israel, and one of his sons is in Rome, posted up in Rome. They're all Edomites though. Another one of his sons over there with the Greeks, Alexander and Philip. They're all the same people though. That's where a lot of confusion coming in there. So we're gonna go into the scriptures and just break it down. So it says, like I was saying before, Jeremiah 29, because I go to the scripture all the time. If anybody have a question, just let me know. You can bring it up. So, or comment. So, I'm in Jeremiah. Let me get 29. It says, Jeremiah 29. Okay, it says, and 14. Well, I'm gonna start at 11. The situation is that he's gonna take them to Babylon, right? So he says, "For I know the thoughts that I thought toward you," says the Lord, "thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you expected ends." 2 baskets of feeds. 12. Then shall ye call upon me. See that? Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. See that? So same thing now. We ain't hearing nothing from heaven because the prophecy. He didn't hid himself from us. But it's gonna come a time when we gonna pray to him, he gonna hear us. It's gonna come a time when he's gonna bring the leader forth. So like I said, when they first went there to Babylon, wasn't no leader, wasn't Zerubbabel, wasn't nowhere around. Zerubbabel was on the scene, but Zerubbabel wasn't nothing happening. It was at the proper time he brought Zerubbabel forth. So it says 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, and ye shall seek me and find me. And when you search for me with all your heart. Then 14. And I will be found of you, says the Lord, at the time, 70 years. And I will turn away your captivity. This is what we're talking about now. China part of it. He's going to turn our captivity after China do what they're going to do. So he says, and I will turn away your captivity, and I'll gather you from all the nations, from all the places where I have driven you, says the Lord, and I will bring you again to a place which I caused you to be carried away from. So, like I said, they was carried away from Babylon. It tells us in Jeremiah, Nebuchadnezzar commanded Nebuzaradan, take these people right here, the smiths, the princes, all of them, take them to Babylon. Ain't no head over them. They ain't got no leader. Nebuchadnezzar and the Chaldeans, they leader. And then after they got there, after they served the captivity and he started turning it, was when the leader showed up. So when they got us from the west coast of Africa, wasn't no leader over us. They brought us here. That's all I'm saying. Right. So you understand that when he says it's nothing, he's nothing new under the sun. He don't change. He don't change. So I'm gonna read Jeremiah 1 through 10 and leading up to that. So it says, so Jeremiah writing a letter to the captives in Babylon. It says, now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent to Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captive. See that? And to the priests, see that? And to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar, see that? Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem. Ain't no Aaron, ain't no Moses, ain't no Zerubbabel. Nebuchadnezzar is the leader. It says, after that, Joachim the king, he's supposed to be the king right here. After that, Jeconiah the king and the queen and the eunuchs and the princes and Judah and Jerusalem and all the carpenters and all the smiths were departed from Jerusalem. And the hand of Elisha, the son of Stephan, and Germa, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying. So he got one of the things I was telling you about how the Most High reveals stuff with certain questions I asked. So right here, I didn't know this. It says, by the hand of Elisha, I don't know this name, son of Stephan, then Gemara, right, the son of Hilkiah. That's the high priest. This boy right here is the son of Hilkiah. Then he said, but Zedekiah is what I didn't know. Zedekiah sent this boy to. He sent him, Zedekiah, the king of Judah. Zedekiah wicked as hell. He's part of the wicked feed, the evil basket of feeds that stayed in Jerusalem. So he says, Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. See that? So he sent Hilkiah's son to go question Nebuchadnezzar. Then verse 4 says, thus says the Lord of hosts, God of Israel, unto all that are carried away. See, you're making the point. All that carried away captive, whom I have caused to be carried away. I was telling you that. He causing that. It ain't nothing you think you making a decision, but he doing all this. He says, caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses, dwell in them, plant gardens, eat the fruit of them, take ye wives, begot sons and daughters, take wives of your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that they may be increased there and not diminished, and seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captive, and pray unto the Lord for it, for in peace thereof shall ye have peace. For thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets or your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to the dreams which ye cause to be dreams. Like I was telling you, they didn't concoct it's another end time scenario that ain't got nothing to do with Yahweh. They bring it about. So 9, for they prophesied falsely unto you in my name, and I have not sent them, says the Lord. So now we pick up verse 10. For thus says the Lord, that after 70 years, see that? You can't even begin to look for no leader until after the prophecy is over with. The captivity, the time frame. Thus says the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good words toward you and causing you to return to this place. Same thing with us. They came from Babylon. We came from the West Coast. So at the end of the captivity, the time appointed is when everything started unfolding. The leaders show up, all that. Not before. And we see Chinese got to deal with us.
Hey, Leonard, I don't think the conversation last night was surrounding a leader
I'm just
going into captivity. It was a leader as coming out of captivity. Because it does us no good to have a leader going into captivity.
Right. I'm starting from the beginning and coming all the way through. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going all the way through with all these verses. Just make it plain. So I'm just showing you how it's unfolding, or comparing it to then and comparing to what the luxury that we have right now is we looking at it. We know what happened in the past, and we know the Most High changed now, and we see how all this stuff is the same way back then. It's unfolding the same way now. And so, like I was saying before, he said it's 10. The 4 beasts is going to transform itself 10 different times. And America ain't the last one. America the 9th one. So that means that captivity is still going to be going on. The time of the end is going to come to a head at the end when after what the Chinese do, which is going to be short and violent. It ain't going to last that long. And that's how he going to use, just like he used the Persians to deliver us, he's using the Chinese to deliver us. So and none of that's been prophesied because when they concocted the New Testament with JC, they ain't have none of this in there. That's what he was talking about in Daniel when he said he's going to change the times and laws. And he changed the prophecies around to accommodate the God that they concocted. Okay. So now let's go to Jehoshaphat. This is where a lot of revelations come in at. I'm in Jehoshaphat. It's the valley of Jehoshaphat. I'm in Joel. And we're just gonna read it because it's speaking for its own self. Anybody got any comments? So I'm in Joel. I'm in chapter 1. It says, verse 1, the word of the Lord that came to Joel, son of Petah, hear this, ye old men and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Have this been in your days, even in the days of your father? Tell ye children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation, that which the palmer worm have left, have the locusts eaten, and that which the locusts have left, have the cankerworm eaten, and that which the cankerworm have left, have the caterpillar eaten. Awake, ye drunkards, and weep the howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation is come up upon the land, strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and have the teeth of a great lion. Ye have laid my vine waste, these Greeks, and bought my fig tree, and have made it clean bare, and cast it away, and branches thereof are made white. Laminate like a virgin girded with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. The meat offering and the drink offering is cut off from the house of the Lord. The priests, the Lord ministers mourn. The field is wasted. The land mourning, for the corn is wasted. The new wine is dried up. The oil languished. Be ye ashamed, O ye husbandmen. Howl, O ye vine dressers, for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. The vine is dried up. The fig tree languished. The pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree, even all the trees of the field are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men. Then 13, Dico Joel's warning and intercession. Gird yourselves and laminate ye priests. Howl, ye ministers of the altar. Come, lie all night in sackcloth, ye ministers of my God, for the meat offering and the drink offering is withheld from the house of our God. We know that happened with Antioch Epiphanes. Sanctify ye feasts. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of God, your God, and cry unto the Lord. Atlas, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as the destruction from the Almighty shall it come. It is not the meat cut off before your eyes, yea, joy and gladness from the house of God. The seed is rotten under the clod. The garners are laid desolate. The barns are broken down, for the corn is withered. How do the beasts groan? The herds of the cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture. Yea, the flocks and sheep are made desolate. O Lord, to thee will I cry, for the fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flames has burned all the trees of the field. The beasts of the field cry also unto thee, for the rivers of water are dried up, and the fire has devoured the pastures of the wilderness. Okay, chapter 2. Here we go. This is another thing right here that has come into play. Right here it says, blow your trumpet in Zion. Right? Blow your trumpet in Zion. Sound an alarm in my holy mountain, and let the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So I was telling you about that day of the Lord is his visitation. Well, that trumpet is blown when we get over there. Trumpet ain't blown over here. So anyway, so it says 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, a day of mourning spreads upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the light, neither shall be any more after it, even until the year of many generations. So this is that army in Ezekiel 37. This is when the trumpet is blown. I'm gonna show you that in a minute, so it ain't gonna be blown over here. So anyway, 3, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning, and the land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. This is our deliverance. Like the noise of flames of fire that devour the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their faces, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, and they shall climb the walls like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they walk, when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. This is only one situation. This ain't happened yet. This when he resurrected our forefathers out of the ground. They got resurrected bodies. So then said, they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up and down the walls. They shall climb up upon the houses, and they shall enter in at the window like a thief. The earth will quake. See that? You go to shaking it right here. The earth will quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark. The stars shall withdraw their shining. So like I said, when you understand typology, they use the same scenario JC said all is going to happen. That's their scenario about the sun and the moon getting dark. But this Yahweh scenario right here. So then it says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. See that? And his camp is very great, for he is strong that executes his word. The day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it? I'm going to read 11 again, because David is right here. The Lord shall utter his voice before his army. His camp is very great. For he, David, is strong that execute his word. David is the one executing his word. He tells us in Ezekiel 66 that a child went to the temple and he resurrected a man-child. It was a man-child resurrected. And in 2nd Ezra said a man came up out of the sea. It's all right here. It's after the trumpet blown, which is over there. It's not over here. So 15, blow the trumpet in Zion. See that? Signify a fast, call a solemn feast, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth from his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. Let the priests and the ministers of the Lord weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Lord, and give not thine heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore shall they say among the people, where is their God? Okay, any comments so far? Okay, then 18 says, this is God's response. Then when the Lord be jealous for his land, pity his people, yea, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, and with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder parts toward the utmost sea, and his stench shall come up, and his ill favor shall come up, because he have done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the trees bear her fruit, and the field and the fig tree and the vine doeth yield her strength. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and will cause you to come down, and will cause it to come down for you the rain, the former rain and the latter rain in the first month. And the floors shall be full of wheat, and the vats shall overflow with wine and oil, and I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten, and the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the plumber worm, my great army which I sent among you. Here go the army right here. And ye shall eat in plenty, be satisfied. Praise the name of the Lord your God that have dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of you. See right here, you're gonna know it. I am in the midst of you, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. Then it says, here we go, this Isaiah 44, 1 through 5. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and young men shall see visions, and also the servants and upon the house, the handmaiden, in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. And I will come, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, just what I just read over there, when he brought them back out of Babylon, he hid faith from them. Then when the time came, he brought it back out. Right here he says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, it's over there, shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. And now, so I read it, I'm gonna read this right here, then I'm gonna open it up. So now I'm in the last verse. This is where all the meat at. Chapter 3. For behold, in those days, and at that time, when I bring again the captivity of Judah, I was telling you, it's after the Chinese do what they gonna do. I will also gather all the nations. See that? This after that. I will also gather all the nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And that's over there with 38, Ezekiel 38. He said you're gonna put hooks in them. And I will plead with them there. See that? We're still in captivity. I will plead with them there for my people. That means they ain't been delivered. They ain't got no great substance from America. So it says, I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people. And all this, we already know about all this. And they have cast lots for my people, and I have given a boy for a harlot, sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and the coast of the Palestine, will ye render me recompense? And if ye render recompense to me swiftly, I mean right at that moment. That's why China and Russia is not going to last that long. Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into the temples, my goodly pleasant thing. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Greeks. See that? That ye might remove them far from their land. Behold, I will raise them up out of that place. He ain't did it yet until right here. I will raise them up out of that place, whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare for war. See that? Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens. That's Ezekiel 38. And gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit. There will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye up, get ye down, for the press is full. And the vat, that means that they wickedness from Cain all the way up, they came to a fool. It's just like grapes on a vine. They start out green, when they get red and grape or whatever color they're supposed to be, they ready. So it started with Cain, not Cain's descendants, and all that they didn't produce, they came to a fool. And he says, 13, puts the sickle in, for the harvest is ripe. All their wickedness and came to a fool. Right? So come, get ye down, for the press is full, the vat overflow, for their wickedness is great. And from Cain to now, we see what they're doing. Multitudes of multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near, in the valley of decision. So in the valley of Jehoshaphat, when it go down. The sun and the moon shall be darkened. Stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord shall also roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. That's when he called David right here in 66. And the heathen and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So shall ye know that I, the Lord your God, dwell in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no stranger pass through her any more. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and the fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shechem. Egypt shall be a desolation, Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, and the violence against the children of Israel, because they have shed innocent blood in the land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. Now here we go, right here, 21. For I will cleanse the blood that I have cleansed, that I have not cleansed. See, right here is when he do it. I will cleanse the blood that you have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. So what is he talking about? I'm going to read this now. You can open it up. So he says he's going to cleanse them, right? So now I'm in Ezekiel 37. And it says, 22. I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king over them, and they shall no more be two nations, neither shall they be divided into any two kingdoms anymore, neither shall they defile themselves anymore of their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgression, but I will save them out of their all the dwelling places wherein they have sinned. I will cleanse them. See, take us right back to Joel chapter 3, last verse. I will cleanse them. So shall they be my people. I will be their God. And David, this is when David come on the scene. And David, my servant, shall be the king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein their fathers have dwelled, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be prince over them. Okay. So I'm opening it up. Anybody have any comments or something they want to interject in that?
Hey, Lana.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, I how do you say it? See, the coming out of America in the day of the Lord. You see, I understand the day of the Lord, but
Right.
it just seemed to me David is coming back before Ezekiel 37, because I'm gonna read 2nd Ezra 12, and I'm gonna start at 13 for a minute. Okay,
Okay.
is that all right? Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. In the night I dreamed a dream, and behold, the wind arose from the sea, so they stirred up the waves. And I looked, and behold, the wind brought out the heart of the sea, something like a figure of a man. And this
Right.
man flew with the clouds. He flew with the
Right.
clouds. He's alone though. He don't have his Ezekiel 37 army. He okay. He flew with the clouds of heaven, and
Right.
wherever he turned his face and looked, everything that he seen trembled.
Right.
And wherever the voice went from his mouth, all who heard his voice melt as wax
Right.
melts when it fills in a fire. And after that, I looked, and behold, an innumerable multitude of men was gathered together from the four winds of the heaven to make war upon the man whom came out of the sea.
So hold it right there. Hold it right there. So where that's at? Right there, what you just read. Where that's at in prophecy?
That's that's right there with
That's a valid
after
Jehoshaphat.
the what now?
That's a valid Jehoshaphat. I just read. He said that they all came to make war with him. That's what he said. I brought you down to the valley of Jehoshaphat to plead with my people. That's right there. That you can put that part right there when David showed up. He said,
But see, I'm
I came to plead with you for my people. And all the nations that gathered together, he brought them to Jehoshaphat, to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the valley of decision. So that's where the Gentile and the heathen got to make their decision there, right there, because pertaining to the children of Israel. That's where they get knocked off at. So what you read, you can place it right there.
But
That's
see,
Ezra's what again?
that's Second Ezra's 12. No. That's Second Ezra 13, 1 through 6.
Right. Yeah, that's the man up out of the sea, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, but see, when you read the Apocryphy of Abraham, after them plagues, starting in verse 31, this is the same thing it is referring to. He's going to call his Messiah, and he's going to summons his people out of the countries. You see, I'm just seeing two different. I'm seeing David coming back before Ezekiel 37 happened.
Right. I see what you're saying.
And then I'm gonna flip over the page, and I'm gonna read 13 and 25, and it said, as you seeing a man come up from the heart of the sea, he is the one whom the Most High has kept a long time.
Right. Time
Though
old.
whom he will redeem his creation, and he will organize those that are left.
Right.
He's going to redeem his creation and organize those that are left. I just see David coming back before, because we need a savior. I see him coming back before the day of the Lord, because when you go back to Malachi 3:1,
right,
that's David, right? Is that David?
Well, let me see. Three and one.
Yeah.
No, that's Elijah. It said, "Behold, I send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way." That's why I was trying to tell you. They took this, and when the New Testament came, they trying to say John the Baptist is Elijah, because this is what they say about it. Go ahead.
But when we read on the 2, but he shall abide the day of his coming, he shall stand and he appeareth, and he shall refine fire and a fuller soap.
Right.
Is David gonna clean up the you know what I'm saying? That's it. Is that not David? That's Elijah.
Well, like I was saying, when you go back to understand what they done, the same verse right here is used for John the Baptist.
Right.
Right.
But this guy right here is purifying the Levites.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's who Elijah is. You're a priest. You're a high priest. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's two people. It's two Messiahs got to come back. But David is the one the most. David is the one the Most High got to just like the Yahweh chose Michael to run this whole situation. David the one he got controlling the earth. But he's got Elijah along with him. And that's why I said what I said the other day, because he tell you over here in verse 5, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Elijah comes, then this is what they done to us. Elijah the one comes because he said right here, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet, and then what his job is he shall turn the hearts of the children, the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers. That's Elijah's job.
But see, in Genesis 15:14, it says he gonna judge that nation, then they coming out with great substance. Now, if that's China, I mean, that's like leaving one captivity going into another. Because I don't I don't look for them to give us great substance.
Right. Why not?
I don't. I don't know. I can't comprehend that one. I just can't comprehend China. I don't think they love us like that. I mean, I know the Most High can make them do it,
Right.
but you know, he said judgment. So we gonna watch this judgment.
Right.
Then we come out.
Exactly.
And this man coming out of the sea is a man that he has prepared for this day.
Right.
And they fighting against this man.
Right.
And this man ain't got his Ezekiel 37 army with him.
So if he let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. If right today, if we wake up tomorrow and America been decimated, is China and Russia gone?
No.
Okay. So something ain't right. That means we ain't at the end. If China's still on the scene, we the Israelites. We the ones, we possessors of the earth. We the caretakers of the earth. So something wrong. If China and Russia, these heathens, if they still on scene, that means we've been hooked, we get prophecy. Because China and Russia still there. What's going to happen with China and Russia? That's because of America is the ninth beast. China is the fulfillment of Daniel, the fourth beast. They got dragons all over. They got dragons all over their society.
Yeah. I mean, it ties right into Deuteronomy 4 and 27. You know, his methods of delivering a nation is one of his methods is war.
Right, exactly. And then
you
and
know,
the war is going to denigrate all the heathens. But we see right now, if the way prophecy is unfolding, you're going to still have Russia and China still on the scene. Because America finna go away. Then we see a whole other system sitting over there in place right now, the Rolling Belt Initiative. So it's something going on with prophecy. Something they ain't telling us they ain't going on. They ain't adding up. And like I said, it goes back to they didn't concoct the end time scenario, and Most High got the end time scenario. That he already done prophesied. They didn't came up with one. After they concocted the New Testament with JC, they came up with one. And they had technology. They had a technology to making it happen, look like it's happening.
Right. It just seemed like David. It just seemed like David gonna have to show up before Ezekiel 38 or 37. It's just because we just not organized. We not. I mean, one joker have 20 acres of land, another have a little square.
Right.
I mean, I don't. And he said he preserved this man that came out of the sea to organize and to redeem his nation again.
Right.
And this man is alone. And you know, that's they to me that's what they claim to be an alien attack or something.
Well, I got another one. I mean, like I said, the reason why I'm having this conversation is just put out information, you know. So let's look at this. Where is the Valley of Jehoshaphat located in?
Jerusalem.
My thing is, I mean, is it near the sea? Ain't by the Indian, like the one was just talking about, that China needs the Indian Ocean because of what they got going on.
Right.
And then you go look at the Valley of Jehoshaphat, it's right there by where the area up in there where Jerusalem is.
Right.
So he said a man come up out of the sea. And I was showing you, he said that all the nations are gathered together. That's at the Valley of Jehoshaphat. At that moment, he brings the man up out the sea. Something to think about. So David would be there. Let me see this right quick. Yeah, that's just something to think about. It says David would be there before Ezekiel 38 and 39. It is mentioned in Isaiah 11 and Micah 5. Let's look at it. Isaiah chapter 11.
Yeah, because 11:11, he got to set his hand a second time. And see, the tents of Judah going to be delivered first. So he got to, after he deliver us out of America, he got to go back and get them others.
God, it says, I'm going to start reading. It says, verse 1, and there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, the branch shall grow out of his roots, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, Spirit of wisdom, Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither shall he reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with the equity of the meat of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Ain't that what you just read in Second Ezra? When he came about the sea, ain't that what he done?
Yeah, but like that's before Ezekiel 38 though. He gonna have to show up before Ezekiel 37 and 38.
Well, he said that at the Valley of Jehoshaphat, he said that he pleaded with them at the Valley of Jehoshaphat for his people. That means that they still in captivity. That's what he sent to Pharaoh. He sent Moses to Pharaoh. They were still in captivity. And Pharaoh and Moses pleaded with them. It's no different than that. He pleaded with them. So all this is over there. All this is when the army, you said the army is gathered together. That's Ezekiel 38. And then a man come about the sea. And all this going together. Then it says 5, and the righteous shall be the girdle of thy loins, and faithfulness the girdle of thy loins. The wolf and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling of gather, and a little child shall lead them, and the cow and the bear shall feed their young ones, shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like an ox, and the suckling child shall play on the hole of an asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on a cockatree, and they shall not hurt nor destroy in my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. So, like I was saying before, if this is when David came right here, right? So he says when David come, ain't no more heathens and wickedness on earth. But we see China and Russia still in play. If David come now, Russia and China still in play.
Okay, now, hold up. Okay, when he came out of the sea, David is alone. Now, Joel 3 and Ezekiel 38, we got our army then. So that's
all together. That's all working together. David comes up first, then the army comes. It's all that happens at the Valley of Jehoshaphat. That's in Joel. And Isaiah tell you that. He says that he resurrect David first. Then the army comes. Then the army comes after that. And they wipe out everything. But it's all happening at the same time. And it happens once the trumpet is blown. So you just read where he said he's going to come up out of the sea, and all the nations of the world and gathered against him. That's the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, let me see what's happening right here, because they're starting to get off. It says Isaiah 6:11, 6 and 8 is a metaphor for David. Here we go. David for warring with the nation of the beasts. David is the child mentioned here. Okay. All right, here go another one. Suckling child and weaned child are stages of development for David. I believe David will return as a young man in his youth. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Anybody got anything? Hello?
Yeah, we here.
Okay, yeah. Let me get this over here. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, got another one right here. It says we also have to be in a safe place when judgment starts. When Israelites was the land of Goshen, while they was right, exactly. That's what I was saying about. He tells you that in Ezekiel 38, they was in a place of safety, dwelling safely, just like right here when they was in Goshen. Just imagine if the Israelites, if the Egyptians would have tried to go to, if the Egyptians would have tried to go to Goshen and do something with the Israelites, same thing would happen. That's what he's telling you right here. They say that they looking and seeing that the Most High, these people ain't in the predicament they was in for the last 4, 5, 2,000 years. Now they God and came and brought them out and they dwelling safely. That means that, if you have any sense, leave them alone. But these people come to go and try to deal with them. That's when he brings David and all that. That's when all that come on the scene. The army and David and all of them, they come and knock them out. Destroy their own self. Cause their own self to be destroyed. Right. Okay. Anybody else got any comments or whatever? Like I was saying before, the main thing is to understand that these people that concocted the end time scenario, just and it's on us and the spirit of the Most High. Well, it's not on us, but it's on the Most High. He promised that he's gonna pour out his spirit on us, and we're gonna walk this information down. But yeah, they got an end time scenario they didn't concoct it. All you gotta do is look at John, Book of John, and Revelations. They didn't concoct it. All that is a copy of what's gonna really happen in the Book of Daniel. What they left in there, they could mix a lot of it, but yeah. And if you look at the events that's transpiring right now, prophecy ain't gonna stop when America get destroyed. You can see it now because of all what's going on with China and Russia and all these other countries. It ain't whatever happened in America, that ain't gonna stop prophecy. Prophecy still got to be completed. We got to do something with China and Russia. Yeah. No comments?
Great class.
Yeah. I was just trying to get that out there, man. I wanted to go into that another part of it, but I ain't gonna do it today. It's another part about the about the 400 years. But I just do that, I didn't want to go into that over this, right? Because like I was saying before, it's two different scenarios that they didn't concoct.
I ain't gonna prolong it, but it just seemed like David coming back.
Got a few more minutes.
It just seemed like he got to come back before, the day of the Lord. Cause, he just seemed like he got to come back before the day of the Lord.
Right.
When he come out of that sea, he's alone. He's not with his army, and
right.
Right.
That's what I was saying. That's what Isaiah 6 says. He said, before she travailed, she was delivered. The earth was delivered of a man child. So he brought David up first.
Right, before she gave birth. Yeah.
Yeah, before the woman travailed.
Right, before.
Yeah, which is Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37 is when the woman gave birth to, say, a whole nation was born at once.
Exactly.
Right.
So David got to come back before Ezekiel 37.
Right. Well, I'm just saying David came first. David was delivered. David was resurrected first. And that, like you were saying, when he came and pleaded with them at the Valley of Jehoshaphat, David there and the Most High. And then because of the decision that they make, just like what Pharaoh did, Pharaoh made the wrong decision when he sent Moses to plead for the Israelites. He didn't conform, and these people right here in Ezekiel 30 ain't gonna conform. Then the army come, but it's all happening at the same time after the trumpet blown. Yeah, but there's something. That's something to consider. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So everybody good?
All good.
Hey, Leonard, I sent you something, and actually to the group earlier this week about kind of coincide what you was talking about with China, how China has made business deals with different countries in Africa that they aren't able to fulfill. So they, and as consequence, China's placing their armies and small sects of their armies in these places in Africa to take over businesses and lands and properties that they're unable to fulfill these contract negotiations.
Right.
So it's on there. It's I sent it to you on your. But check it out and see if we can expound on that at some point in time, because it kind of goes into this right here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a plan. Just like with America, China got a plan. They plan. It's in stages. Like I said, you're gonna look up and it's gonna be. It's like what Cyrus did to the Chaldeans. They looked up the next one day, and one day they was partying, and the next day they looked up and Persians owned everything. It ain't just happened like that. They plotted it up, and it came down like that. Yeah. So they had it was only one way to enter into Babylon was through the river. So they dried the river up overnight, and the water dried up. They came through under the bridge. When they woke up the next morning, they wasn't even no longer in charge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. So you sent it to my messenger or to my phone or what?
Message.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
Wednesday?
It was sometime this week. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what day it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say shalom and see everybody at 6 o'clock.
All right, shalom, everybody. Have a good one.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Shalom.